Good day, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Vise Squad, brought to you by the Antron Fly Company. This week, I'm going to tie a little black stone pattern. This was a request from a customer, a friend of mine, and was all his specifications. And he says they work like a son of a gun. So I figured we'd tie it for you today, and maybe everybody can have a bit of fun with it. In the vise, I'm going to put a size 12 curved nymph hook. I've gone ahead and I've put 5 wraps of 030 lead on it. If you just check your regulations, if you can't use lead, use lead free, or use a sinking line and get rid of the lead altogether. At any rate, this is 70 denier, I believe, Danville black. I'll just start it at the front and get rid of the tag. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of come back over and just wind my thread through the lead, and then that'll keep it where we want it, which is about an eye width behind the eye. We don't want to jam it right up to the front and make it tough to tie in the rest. But what we'll do is we'll work our way down. To just past the barb, more or less somewhere in there. Could create a little ball here of thread that'll help our rear biots splay out a little. Put a little ball in there, park our thread just in front of it, and we're just going to use some black goose biots here. So I'm going to tie one in on my side. Like that. And you don't want them to stick out too terribly far. They kind of got short, stubby legs at the back. So that's probably about the hook gap, the length of that biot. And we'll grab another one. And we'll tie it in to match. And when you're tying these in, you want to tie them so that they curve out. There's a natural curvature to the biot, and you want it to curve away so that they kind of splay out like legs. And we'll tie those down to about that ball, and that'll help them want to splay out naturally. And then we'll just tie those in. We'll just tie them up to the lead, and then we'll grab our scissors, or you can tear them off even. I'll just cut them out here. And I'll clean that up a little. Next, we're going to tie in our rib, which is going to be some silver ultra wire, which I apparently didn't prep ahead of time. This is a size brassie. So we'll just cut a short length off the spool. I always like to use an old pair of scissors that aren't good for cutting thread anymore, because if you start cutting wire with your thread scissors, you won't be cutting thread with them anymore. So we'll tie that in down the far side, right down to where the biots are tied to. And then we're gonna dub the back end here. I'm going to park my thread just ahead of the biots, and I'll show you why in a second here. For our body, rear body, we're going to use some, this is Wapsi Antron sparkle dubbing. It's dark stone color. I like this stuff because it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, and it dubs, you can dub it really fine. And the back end, we don't want it to be all fuzzy or hairy looking. We want it to be fairly smooth. So I'm going to start that dubbing, and then I'm going to work it rearward down to the biots, and then work my way forward. And the rear section here can be a little tapered as we move forward. And once we've got a fairly smoothish, even body, we'll take that wire and we'll start wrapping it forward. And just some even segmented wraps here. And we'll tie that off. And we'll spin that out of there. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab just a pinch of our front half dubbing, which is a Senyo's Fusion dub in Midnight. It's kind of a blacky blue color. I'm just going to grab just a little bit here. I'm just going to sort of dub over a little bit of the body there and just kind of cover those thread wraps up. And just create just a little bit of a bump there. And then when we tie some biots for the legs on here, that'll help push them away from the body and they'll splay out. Something like that. You don't want them too terribly long. I'll grab another one and do it to the other side. And you just want to check them, make sure they're more or less even and running sort of in line with the hook. So we'll tie those in real good. And then they're splayed out the side. And we'll grab our scissors and we'll snip those off. Next we'll grab that fusion dub again and we'll just do another little noodle here. This stuff can be a bit tough to control. Sometimes a bit of dubbing wax will help you out. So we'll build the body up a little bigger. I want this thorax end to be quite hefty when we're all done. We'll grab another biot here and we'll tie it in. This side, I'm just gonna get rid of a few of these parent ones on the side. Sort of just get in the way. So I'm gonna tie that in so it's more or less the same width when you're looking at the fly this way. You don't want it to be sticking out way further. And we'll grab one more and do it to the other side as well. You could put a third set in if you wanted to. My friend said, don't worry about it, this looks good enough, so we just ran with it. What we are going to do is grab another little pinch of that fusion dub and we'll cover up these thread wraps here. I want to not go too crazy with it because I'm going to tie a wing case in here. I'm going to tie it in above or on the lead itself, which we'll do now. So for the wing case, what I've done is taken a piece of thin skin. This is black and clear mottled thin skin, and I've cut it in the shape of a heart. It's sort of a make it look like a set of wings. And what I'm going to do is lay that on the back, about the length of that thorax, and we'll tie that in, like I said, up on those lead wraps. Otherwise, if we tied it down here, it would probably jump way up and not look very good. But I want to kind of leave it resting on the body. Once we have that tied in, we're going to grab one more little pinch of the fusion dub, finish the head, and then we're going to whip finish it and be finished. And grab our whip finish tool. You could put, I guess, a set of front horns or legs in if you wanted to. My guy wasn't too bothered with having them or not having them, so we just went without them. Probably tend to break off when you're fishing them anyway. And the last step here will be we'll take our little dubbing tool here. In this case, a popsicle stick with some, with some Velcro on it. And we'll just pick those fibers out a little bit. And we'll go back in and clean up the front end here. Get rid of the really long ones. This Fusion Deb has quite long fibers in it. Just give it some buggy appeal. Like so. And then a bit of head cement on the knot, and that will be it. Pretty easy little pattern. It was fun kind of working it out with them. Figuring it out. And there you have it. Just an easy little stone pattern. Like so. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I appreciate those of you who tune in every week. I really am appreciative of it. Thanks to our sponsor, the Antron Fly Company, and thanks to Rick for all the hard work that he does. If you want to check out our sponsors, I'm sure they'd appreciate it if you check out their Instagram and Facebook, and Goes to 11 as well. For the videos on YouTube here, if you're new to the channel, and you enjoyed watching it, we do have all sorts of other content on there. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, and you won't miss any of the upcoming content. There's new stuff going on every day. You can check out our online storage, fishingandoutdoors.ca for Canada and .net for the US customers. There's all sorts of stuff on there. You can find anadromous stuff on there, and all sorts of fishing stuff, all sorts of stuff. Rick's got a mess of stuff on there, but at any rate, until next week, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Take care.